Good afternoon and thanks for joining us on Nationwide today. I am Hawa Salihu Adama. Our starting point is security and the unfolding story in Kagara, Niger State, where the Nigeria Police Force has deployed 4 units of mobile police, special forces and other operational assets to the bandit-prone local government areas of Niger State to rescue all kidnapped victims, including the Government Science College Kagara students. Mukhtar Abubakar Wowo reports that this is under the Operation POF Ada 2, recently flagged off by the Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adam. Details will come in our subsequent bulletin. Meanwhile, the abduction of his schoolmates and a narrow escape, Caleb Ismail says, will not deter him from pursuing his education. Abdullahi Muhammad met him receiving treatment from one sustained while escaping at the Government Science Secondary School, Kagara, Niger State.
Caleb Ismail is from a village miles away from Kagara, but he has a mighty dream that sent him to school at Government Science Secondary School, Kagara.
I can come the police.
But an encounter with the abductors left him with scars that could be of a lifetime. He was lucky to have escaped by the whiskers, but his friend Habila was shot dead.
But they tell us, if you cannot stop, I can shoot him. But they has already started running, but they are shooting him in the head.
This ugly incident sent shivers of shocks to the family of his bosom friend.
I say we feel so bad. We are there sitting down, mourning, receiving the condolence visits from our neighbors and well wishers.
Many others are yearning to see that their loved ones are released.
We no even sleep since that very yesterday. Up to now, we are struggle looking for how we are going to see them.
Though families and friends of those abducted at Government Science School Kagara yesterday may be reeling in pains, but the most important thing is that efforts are being intensified to ensure that their loved ones are brought back into their arms once again. In Kagara, Rafi local government area of Niger State, Abdullah.
Thanks, Abdullahi. I understand we have the film report of our first report now on the police deployment.
The deployment of the special forces was in response to the recent kidnapping of 27 students of Government Science College, Kagara, and many others in captivity in Niger State. The flagging off of the Operation POF Ada 2 in the state is thus to flush out bandits, kidnappers, armed robbers, and terrorists in the 4 local government areas identified as flashpoints and the state as a whole.
So we have deployment around that axis, so we know what is happening and we are monitoring. And we have enough people personnel inside the areas, both air and land. And this reinforcement will also assist.
Niger State government vowed to do everything possible to support the special forces to ensure effective operation while urging the troops to observe rules of engagement during their operations.
We want their morale to be high. We want to give them every tomorrow support where it is necessary for us to give them the information and to aid them for the operation. The state government will not hesitate to give them such information.
I want to tell the parents of these abducted children is they should just believe in the effort that the state government has done. The presidency too will ensure that these children are out of where they are.
The Niger State Police Command and the state government, however, maintained that the operation will be an intelligence-led and community-driven operation, which will be executed in collaboration with the armed forces, the communities, and other sister security agencies. This is with a view to reclaiming the public space from criminals that are bent on threatening the sovereignty of the country. Emina Mukhtar Abubakar, NTA News.
And still staying with security matters, the need for security agencies to up their intelligence gathering to nip security threats in the bud has again re-echoed on Good Morning Nigeria. Security experts also say holding key players accountable as well as prosecution of anyone found wanton is critical to stopping the recurring kidnap of students and citizens across the country. Lydia Sampson has that.
Dousing ethnic and religious tension, no doubt, will require the buy-in of youths who, ironically, are sometimes ready tools deployed in perpetrating violence in political, ethnic and religious disagreements. Gaston Good Morning Nigeria attribute this to what they call deliberate action by some leaders to misdirect attention to their lapses and corrupt practices.
We are so divided to the extent that even if someone steals our money, if someone takes away what belongs to us, instead of us confronting him as Nigeria, the first thing you hear is that no, he's not your tribe. You are accusing him because he's not of your religion. And when it comes to serious issues that collectively as Nigerians we're supposed to address, collectively as Nigerians we're supposed to voice out, we cannot voice out.
As young people and leaders of youth in Nigeria, we have continuously advocated for the fact that institutions of government that have been established to unite Nigerians should be strengthened.
We celebrated our 60th independence anniversary. The theme of that celebration was togetherness. And instinctively, what came to my mind then was, it's good, it's a good platform. But my recommendation is to take that togetherness forward. Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Part of the lessons that we can learn from the military is that once you get into the academy, because we come in based on quota from the states, but you are given equal opportunities. The quota ends from entrance. Nobody cares whether you are from Edo, Plateau, and the rest. And so I think we need to give that equal opportunity to the Nigerian youth.
To change the narrative, they called for tackling of problems as a collective challenge while upholding the truth in recognition of our diversity by being just to all, irrespective of differences. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And the Nigeria Governors Forum is to support the federal government in the procurement of additional military hardware and other logistics in containing the rise in cases of criminal elements terrorizing parts of the country. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports that the resolution was reached at the end of an emergency meeting to review the state of the nation in Abuja.
The Nigerian Governors Forum says the resolution to declare support for more funding of the military became necessary to prevent the nation's security architecture from further degeneration. The forum commends President Muhammadu Buhari for the appointment of new service chiefs and tasked them on greater protection of the country against external aggression.
We are prepared to support the dedication of portions of the excess crude account and the Natural Resource Development Fund or the Economic Stabilization Fund to providing the necessary equipment for the military and other security institutions to address immediately the impunity associated with all of the crimes and criminality that we have highlighted in this briefing.
The forum sympathizes with victims of violence and other criminal attacks across the country and pledged to strengthen humanitarian support and security reinforcement to avert future occurrence. NGF also resolved to ensure watertight security across Nigeria's borders to check proliferation of weapons and improve on the National Livestock Transformation Plan to end farmers' herders' crisis. The forum says regional security outfits will be strengthened to enhance operation of conventional security agencies to reduce crimes and criminality and called for restraint in the use of social media and ethnic profiling. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
And worried by the rising insecurity in the country, especially at government facilities such as schools, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps is mapping out new strategies to combat kidnapping and armed banditry. Abdurrahman Usman Jibrila completes the report.
Principle of emergency operations and the protection of critical infrastructure and other national assets is part of strategies being strengthened by the leadership of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps to secure the nation's valuable assets. Assistant Commandants General, Zonal and State Commandants of the Corps at this meeting were tasked to engage in mediation, especially in the current farmers' hardest crisis, and ensure massive deployment of agro-rangers to achieve the country's drive to be self-sufficient in food production.
We have been preaching to community leaders, to religious leaders, to be providing us with intelligence, little tips on what they have discovered.
Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps is also intensifying collaboration with other security agencies to improve on intelligence gathering and community engagement in Abuja. Abrahman Usman Jibrila, NTA News.
The Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Tallen, has condemned the recent abduction of children from Government Secondary School Kagara in Niger State. In a statement, she described the incident as a callous act and disrespect for human beings as enshrined in the laws of the land and religious books. As a mother, she pleads with the abductors to fear God and exercise compassion by releasing the young Nigerians. To the parents of the abducted students, Pauline Tallen calls for calm and patience to enable government do its best to rescue them. To other matters now, President Muhammadu Buhari says the outgoing administration of Muhammadu Isufu in the Republic of Niger deserves accolades for keeping to the country's constitution with respect to forthcoming runoff polls later this month. This was while receiving an audience of former Vice President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Namadi Sambo, who is ECOWAS head of mission on the election in Niger Republic. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has more.
No clear winner has emerged in the first round of voting in Nigerian presidential election, thus compelling a runoff set for February 21st. President Muhammadu Buhari congratulated the ECOWAS mission led by Nigeria's Muhammad Namadi Sambo on the peaceful and orderly conduct of the polls in line with the provision of Nigerian constitution. He noted that as the nation's very close neighbor, the peace of the country must matter to Nigeria. As he puts it during the closed-door engagement, neighborliness, whether national or individual, is very important, as the peace of your neighbor or lack of it may also affect your own well-being. President Buhari wished the Republic of Niger, as well as the Namadi Sambo-led ECOWAS mission, best of luck as the runoff polls hold over the weekend. The former Vice President Muhammad Namadi Sambo had told the president that campaigns have been peaceful thus far as contending political parties seal deals and alliances for outright victory. In the first round of election, Mohamed Bazoum, former Minister of Interior and Foreign Affairs, led with 39.33% of the votes cast, compared to former President Muhammad Usman, who polled 17%. Both scores fall short of the required 50% for outright presidential victory. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And members of the National Economic Council are meeting in Abuja with Vice President Yemi Oshibajo presiding. Most of the members are attending physically for the first time since the outbreak of the COVID-19. Previous meetings had been virtual and only very few governors, such as Osun State Governor Boyega Oyetola, are joining the meeting virtually this time around. Governors of Enugu and Rivers are being represented by their deputies. The focus of the meeting, though yet to be made public, there is every indication that the recommendations of the Governors Forum from its meeting held last night will be presented to the Council for onward transmission to the federal government. And this includes the support financially and otherwise for the federal government on the fight against insecurity. Issues on the social intervention program aimed at pulling 100 million Nigerians out of poverty will also be in focus. These will also include development of infrastructure across the country. The chairman of INEC is also expected to make presentations. The national agency, moving on. The world continues to grapple with the issues of COVID-19 with a disturbing twist which lies in the emergence of variants of the virus, notably that of the United Kingdom and South Africa. That is the situation, and Nigeria is already counting infection rates from the B117 UK variant, recording 29 cases. In this next report, correspondent Salwa Khalil Ibrahim brings us latest happenings around Nigeria and the COVID-19 variants, while getting us enlightened about the difference between a strain and a variant of viruses.
The medical world made what could be described as a phenomenal breakthrough with the development of COVID-19 vaccines with a record time that has never been experienced in the history of vaccine development. However, while the ingenuity of scientists and researchers is at its best in this regard, the virus has also been up to its game, trying to get in the way of scientific efforts.
We have seen many variants now coming up in different countries like UK, which we have the UK variant, and then the South African variant, and the Brazilian variant, and now we're hearing it's most likely a new one is coming up even in Nigeria. With more variants that are coming, we shall be having different type of effect.
The use of the word strain and variant is one that many really do not have a clear-cut understanding of. Let's get you enlightened on that.
For example, with the caps. For instance, I changed this cap now to this cap. So I'm now a new variant. Something, the coat that this thing I use is different. But if these changes keep, occurring, and then my nose changes, my shape of my skin, color, hair, etc., then it needs a new strain. That means the new strain is another virus coming from the native virus that has changed totally and is having different properties.
We've now confirmed a total of 29 cases of the B117 variant. This has been confirmed in Edo, Kwara, Lagos, Osun, Oyo, and the FCT.
Experts say there is no evidence that suggests that the existing vaccines will not be effective against the viruses. For now, 15 million doses of AstraZeneca vaccine has been allocated to Nigeria in 2 batches by the African Union Vaccine Acquisition Task Team.
The means and ways, they are all the same. The drugs are the same. The vaccine is the same vaccine that treats all of them.
You just heard that there is no cause for alarm, but as we await the arrival of the vaccine, we must continue to wear our masks properly, wash our hands constantly, socially distance ourselves, amongst other non-pharmaceutical measures to stay safe. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
Now to the latest on COVID-19. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control has confirmed 869 new cases of COVID-19 in the country. A breakdown of the new infections indicates that Lagos has the highest number of cases with 229, as Rivers has 79, Taraba 73, Oyo 66, Ogun 60, the Federal Capital Territory 58, and Plateau 56 cases. Kwara and Ondo have 38 new cases each, while Osun has 24, Kano 22, Nasarawa 21, with Abia, Edo and Akwa Ibom recording 19 cases each. Cross River recorded 10 new cases, Delta 9, Benue 8, Ekiti and Borno 6, Katsina 4, Bauchi 3, while Bayelsa and Zamfara both had 1 new case each. Nigeria now has 149,369 confirmed cases of COVID-19, out of which 125,722 were treated and discharged, while 1,787 died of the virus. And it's now time for us to join Agatha in our Benin Network Center. Agatha, you're on.
Thank you, Hawa. A warm welcome to Benin. Now, the people of Aho community say the spate of kidnapping and killings at the Aho axis of the Benin-Ore-Lagos Express Road has crippled socio-economic activities in the area. They spoke with our correspondent Goodluck Enaini on a special assignment to ascertain why the area is a flashpoint for such crimes.
The people of Aho are farmers who rely on proceeds from their farms to keep life going. Since this ugly trend, the people no longer go to the farm for fear of the unknown.
We go with groups of people if we are going to the farm, both the women and the men. Every day we heard of the kidnapping, so it's affecting us, even affecting the farming here.
This is the Benin-Ore-Lagos Express Road by Aho community, just few kilometers away from Benin City, the Edo State capital. For some time now, the road has become a notorious location for kidnapping.
Motorists plying the road drive with extreme care. However, NTA News crew observed that few kilometers away from the last security checkpoint at Aho, motorists increase the velocity of their vehicles to avoid the unexpected. As the crew moved further along the road, it observed thick bushes on both sides of the road. Another information gathered indicates that the criminals take advantage of these to attack their unsuspecting victims, mostly in the early hours and late in the evenings. The recent kidnap and killing of a US-based philanthropist, Dennis Abuja, is fresh in the memories of the people.
If you have more security in the highway, those kidnappers can be able to come out.
Post more policemen, if possible, ask soldiers to join them.
In Benin, Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
Howard, that's it from here. It's back to you.
Thank you very much. And we will now take our first break on Nationwide Today.
I bring you wonderful news. The village headmaster is coming back to your screen. Mo wire abi mi o wire. Teacher no more. A fẹ́ lọ wá nǹkan jẹ. Teacher no more. A fẹ́ lọ wá nǹkan jẹ. Ọmọ onírẹsì ti dé.
Ajebo na better school for Las Gidi. Not be all this on a rugged yes school for Ijabi. I don't know for you.
It's called Oja Village. Kadesi, we no happy at all.
And I know that even you too, you are getting a lot of orders too. Hey, we are trying, shall sweep her leg out. She was standing there. Sweep it.
I love you so much.
And how did I give you the impression that I was interested in that position?
50-year anniversary.
You mean anniversary?
I mean, that is why I talk with that now.
Not for me. Not for me because of Pamio.
The second wave of the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic is upon us.
To safeguard lives of our people, government has signed the health protection regulations, which makes wearing a face mask mandatory in public places.
Wear a mask. Keep social and physical distancing. Avoid crowded places. Wash your hands regularly with soap and clean water. And use hand sanitizer.
COVID-19 is real. Do not be infected. Do not spread it. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview UK channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk. App for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
After sharing the spoils in their last meeting, Southampton will be looking to secure all 3 points when they welcome the Blues to St Mary's. This Saturday, it's Southampton versus Chelsea on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 1:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank, Babai Jebu, Lipton, and Close Up in association with Gold.com.
Thanks for rejoining us, and still staying with the unfolding story in Kagara, Niger State. We now join my colleague Hamisu Rogo, who is on ground in Mina, to speak to us on the aftermath of the recent event. Hamisu, if you can hear me, what is the general situation, security situation in Niger State?
Yeah, obviously, I am actually in Mina. And when you are talking about the issue of the security situation in Mina, obviously you are coming to the government house, because that is where all the activities that are supposed to bring an end to what has happened is coordinated. But I wish to God you are around me here. You will find that the government house is deserted. It is literally like a purgatory. But then it says also that most of the officials are out there in the field. Like I've said earlier on, the state governor is with the presidency. Most of the government officials are out there in the field trying to find a way by which this issue can be resolved amicably. But then, over time, through the day as we were speaking, hope is taking over despair. In fact, hope is taking over ascendancy. And the government officials here are taking up optimism, are giving timelines, and are speaking. Well, they are saying that everything being equal, maybe by tomorrow, maybe or the day after, the abductees may be back. But I have with me the chief of staff to the governor of Niger State himself, Malam Ibrahim Balarabi. He has been waiting since. Malam Ibrahim, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Well, we have been saying that good news has been coming out of what has been, that has been coming out of you people from what is going on, to see that the abductees are really back and reunited with their family.
Like I earlier mentioned, the good thing or the positive story is that these school children are alive. And efforts is being made with the collaboration of the states and the federal government. We do hope that within no time that these children will be united with their families.
When is no time?
No time, I wouldn't want to give timeline, but like I said, you can see how the government house is deserted. Virtually every important person in the state is busy doing one thing or the other to ensure that these children are united with their families. As we speak, the federal government troops are in the bush in collaboration with our own local vigilantes, doing everything possible to rescue these children in good health without casualty. That is the assignment given to them, to ensure that no life is lost in the process of getting the freedom of these children.
By implication, you are saying there are linkages between the abductees and the government officials?
Well, I wouldn't want to say specifically yes, but I assure you that every effort is on the way to ensure that these children are united with their people. Like I said, it is the policy of the state government not to offer ransom. And of course, we are doing everything we can to ensure that we get their release without any attendant casualty. As we speak, just some minutes ago, I spoke with someone on field, and he's telling me some positive signals that inshallah something positive will come out, but I don't want to give timeline.
Oh, obviously, there are no time from the chief of staff to the governor himself. But then definitely over time, the name of the people that have been abducted has been released. And then obviously, as I spoke with the secretary to the government of the state earlier on, he told me that they are trying to find linkages, and from the way things are going, it's like the linkages have been established and that there is a silver line, the so-called, or the silver line is on the sky, and that things may get resolved and maybe earlier than we expect. But then we are all keeping our fingers crossed and looking with expectation. And the parents are given assurance that their children will be back and they'll be back safe. That is as good as it is in Mina. So it is back to you, studio.
Thank you very much, Hamisu. But before I let you go, I guess commitment and hope are all we have to hold on to now. But I also understand that there's a list of the students and staff of the school that has been released by the state government. Can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, obviously the names have been released. There are names that have been released, and it has been authenticated by government officials here. But then nothing much has been said about it other than the release of the names. And in fact, there have been a list going on in the social media, which, well, it is also been authenticated by the director of press here. But apart from that, I have no further information.
For now, thank you very much. We will surely get back to you some other time.
Thank you.
And back here in Abuja, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has given approval for the emergency use of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine and the COVID-19 vaccine dossier from the Serum Institute of India to serve as emergency vaccination for Nigeria after due consideration and examination. Chimobi Walter Naji reports that approval was given accelerated consideration following the emergency use listing by the World Health Organization and other frontline countries.
Following the World Health Organization's approval for the AstraZeneca vaccine for emergency use listing based on quality, safety and vaccine efficacy, countries around the world are taking the initiative to domesticate the vaccine protocols. National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is taking the lead in Africa with the approval given for the emergency use of 2 vaccines for Nigeria. The Director General NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeye, while briefing newsmen on the new development in Abuja, noted that the agency has taken steps to ensure post-marketing pharmacovigilance and surveillance of the vaccines.
The vaccines that COVAX facility has, all countries that are eligible for the donation for the free vaccines will also be eligible for access to the dossiers. So we have the Pfizer-BioNTech dossier right now. We got that yesterday. We may use it, we may not use it in Nigeria because we have to make sure we focus on fixed number of vaccines. But just to let you know that we will start the review on the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, and then we're going to get others that are in COVAX facility.
Before now, NAFDAC had put modalities in place to provide regulatory guideline and guidance for the approval and licensing for vaccines manufacturers. It's also using technology tracking system to ensure the vaccines are not diverted and forestall the infiltration of fake vaccines into the system. In Abuja, Chimobi Walter Naji, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Dr. Orji Ogbonnaya Orji as the Executive Secretary, Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NETI, for a single term of 5 years, in accordance with provisions of the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative Establishment Act 2007. The appointment takes effect from 19th February 2021. A statement by the Director Information, Willie Bassi, indicates that until his appointment, Dr. Orji was the agency's Director of Communications and Advocacy. He has worked at various times with the FRCN and the UNDP. He holds an MSc degree and PhD in Political Economy and International Development from the University of Abuja. And the Senate has confirmed the nomination of Victor Muruako for appointment as Chairman, Fiscal Responsibility Commission. This followed the consideration of the report of Senate Committee on Finance, which also recommended that President Muhammadu Buhari should constitute the board of the commission with representation from the 6 geopolitical zones and civil society organizations. The bill for an act to provide legal framework for the establishment of federal medical centers, sponsored by Senator Aishatu Dahiru, passed second reading. The bill seeks to ensure adequate provision of healthcare services and give legal backing to the existing federal medical centers across the country. And Awal is on standby in Lagos for the continuation of Nationwide. Hello, Awal.
The fight against COVID-19 in Nigeria is gaining more support with the distribution of more ventilators by Nigerian doctors in diaspora. The project is championed by the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research to assist patients with respiratory conditions across the country.
Continuous positive airways pressure machines, CPAP, is a compatible machine and non-invasive ventilator designed to save patients with respiratory-related issues in critical conditions. As an alternative to oxygen support system, this equipment, one of the most sought after globally, aids the fight against COVID-19.
Up to 30 to 50 liters of oxygen can stay inside it, so that the individual will have enough oxygen to breathe in. And that may prevent them from getting worse to requiring the other ventilator where you have to invasively intubate the patient.
This is the second phase of the distribution process provided by Nigerian doctors in the diaspora. Medical personnel drawn from across the country have already been trained on its operations.
The project becomes a flagship project. It becomes a implementation blueprint, essentially a playbook by which other nations that have the same similar challenges to Nigeria.
We are bringing out data, information that we collected on the patient that used the machine, and then we are going to analyze the data and then bring out a report scientifically, which may even be useful to the international community.
With these 140 CPAP ventilators, it is hoped that the burden of oxygen plants across the country will be reduced. In Lagos, Adeola Komiakiri, NTA News.
Meanwhile, as the battle against COVID-19 continues in the era of the second wave and mutation of the virus, Dotun Ugunyemi was on the streets of Lagos to examine why residents nonchalantly defy COVID-19 protocol in spite of existing punitive measures.
From the streets of Lagos to the isolation wards across hospitals, many wrestling with shortage of oxygen to cater for patients battling the disease. COVID-19 still remains a potent threat to lives and livelihoods in the mega city. The need to make daily income, which naturally attracts people to the bustling city, makes daily interactions for economic and social necessity impossible in the clustered center of several commercial hubs. This further compounds the spread of the deadly virus, as figures published today by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control shows that more than 53,000 cases have been recorded as at the 17th of February. Although safety protocols are still in place, the level of compliance has been on a decline, posing a major challenge to Nigeria's ability to contain the virus, as the first batch of vaccines are still being expected in country.
Well, the guideline that has been released by our task force is really important so we could be safe.
They say prevention is better than cure. We should not have a nonchalant attitudes towards the various guidelines. We have to keep social distancing, we have to wash our hands, we have to keep our environment clean.
As the awareness for improved compliance to safety protocols continue, the National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, recently announced its approval for the use of Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine for use in Nigeria. In Lagos, Dotun Ogunyemi, NTA News.
You're watching NTA Nationwide. We'll be going back to Abuja, where Hawa is standing by with more reports. Hawa, it's back to you.
Very well. The National Bureau of Statistics, in its latest report released on its website, has indicated that Nigeria's GDP for the year 2020 contracted to 1.92% cumulatively. This is different from the 2019 GDP, which showed an appreciation of 2.27%, with the country entering its second recession since 2017, occasioned by the coronavirus pandemic. The Q4 figures showed a real GDP growth of 0.11% after the previous two consecutive contraction of 0.10% in the second quarter of the year and 3.62% in Q3. The year closed on the positive with a 2.55% growth in the last quarter of the year. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Kogi State Command, has intercepted 2 suspected fake military officers in a new Toyota Jeep loaded with a total of 394 compressed parcels of illicit drugs weighing 234 kg. The state commander of the agency, Alfred Adewumi, who started this in Lokoja, the Kogi state capital, stressed that the substance were concealed in different parts of the vehicle. Over now to Solomon Ayede.
The driver, who was sporting a military vest, but eventually we discovered that he is a fake military personnel.
The suspected fake military officers, Mohammed Noura and Abubakar Dahiru, were intercepted by vigilant operatives of the Kogi State Command of the NDLA along Okene-Lokoja Expressway on Monday, February 15, 2021. The consignment, identified to be cannabis sativa, weighing 234 kg, was taken from Lagos and heading towards Kano.
Are you a military officer?
No, sir. But I bought it in Lagos just to pass with these goods.
How many times have you done this type of thing?
This is my second time, sir. The first one I managed to pass, but the second time the NDLA stopped me and I stopped.
The Kogi State Commander, NDLA, Alfred Adewumi, explained that the vehicle and illicit drugs have been impounded while the suspected traffickers detained for further investigation into the matter, assuring that anyone found culpable will be dealt with according to the law. Kogi NDLA boss warned traffickers against the deadly act as the agency is poised to effectively manage Kogi routes. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
And it's time to hand over the baton to Abubakar in our Maiduguri Network Center. Unfortunately, we cannot continue with our Maiduguri Network Center due to an audio challenge. Moving on, here in Abuja, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, has commiserated with victims of the Borno IDP camp fire disaster which occurred in the early hours of Wednesday. This was contained in a statement issued by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Bashir Noura Al-Kali. The minister said it was unfortunate that the inferno claimed 3 lives, 2 adults and an infant, with about 3,600 IDPs affected and hundreds of shelters razed down. Farouk directed that the cause of the fire be investigated to forestall future occurrences and advised that cooking inside the makeshift homes be discouraged. She also commended the chairperson of the State Emergency Management Agency, Yaba Wakolo, and other SEMA officials who paid prompt visit to the camp to sympathize with the victims. She also directed that relief materials be dispatched to the camp to cushion the effects of the incident. Joy Daniel, an elder sister of late Emmanuel Awulu, is asking the independent investigative panel on violations of human rights by the defunct SARS set up by the National Human Rights Commission to order the police to pay compensation for the unlawful termination of life of the family's breadwinner by officials of the defunct SARS in Abuja. This was at the hearing of the petition she filed before the panel, over now to Judiciary correspondent Viera Chimoba.
The petitioner, Joy Daniel, told the panel that Inspector Tuma Cletus and other SARS officials beat her brother beyond recognition before killing him. Led in evidence by her counsel, Uche Uwazronye, she said her late brother, a poultry farmer, was arrested by Inspector Tuma in August 2019, taken into custody of SARS in Abuja and denied access to her family amid extortions of money.
Justice must prevail, and those people that killed my brother should be brought to book.
In the alleged case of abuse of office, where SARS officials used the accounts of Uzoma Chukwu and Victoria Chukwu to collect money from one Nicholas Ubede, the panel viewed the CCTV footage of Inspector Ismail Abawa, who is alleged to be the link man in the extortion, cashed a check of 25,000 naira for his broken phone. Though the respondent counsel, Fidelis Ubede, opposed the tendering of a flash drive by the bank's branch manager on grounds of incompetence, Gabatatenge SAN, who stood in for the chairman of the panel, overruled him.
It is to be noted that this is an investigative panel, and therefore constant recourse to the Evidence Act will hinder us from arriving at a just conclusion of this matter.
Henry Ezani, another petitioner, narrated how James Bauer meted out inhuman treatment to him and extorted 110,000 naira in an effort to track his business partner, Cletus Anikwe. In Abuja, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
And I hear our Maiduguri Center is now ready for us. Abubakar?
I just hope so, Hawa. Residents of Maiduguri have decried the ongoing fuel scarcity amidst the total blackout, now getting to almost a month. Pauline Kujevana sought to know where the problem lies.
A round to most filling stations shows quite a number not dispensing fuel, while the few others dispensing have queues, with some selling above the official price and others stick to the price of 162 naira per litre, including NNPC mega station.
The fuel scarcity is nobody is monitoring them. Today, if you come to this place, you will find it a different price. If you go to that place, I find it a different price.
We in Brunei, we are suffering about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We don't have light. So without the fuel, we cannot survive.
The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association, IPMAN, confirmed that some members are holding the petroleum product based on the rumor-making round that federal government will increase the price of fuel, even though they currently purchase at 162 naira per litre in Lagos.
Damman da muke saya wurin su sai sun so kan mana farashin da muke samu. Amma yanzu farashin da suke sayar mana ba zai yi mu dauka kamu zo mu sai da shi nan ba. Asara za mu yi shi.
Department of Petroleum Resources DPR, on the other hand, warned against holding of fuel as it has deployed its staff to ensure the product are sold to customers at official price.
If any marketer is not selling, and he has product, that marketer will be sanctioned, and we have various stages of sanctions.
With this development from the authorities, it is hoped that there will be availability of petrol to ease the hardship being experienced in Maiduguri. Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
Away from the issue of fuel scarcity now, a fire incident in the early hours of yesterday claimed 3 lives and destroyed over 600 internally displaced persons shelter at Custom House IDP's camp in Maiduguri. Over 1,400 households from Dikwa are taking refuge in the IDP's camp that was totally devastated. Jadwa John Jesney has an update.
This is the second major fire outbreak in IDP camps recorded this year in Borno State. This incident is coming barely 2 days after a similar one at Gajuram, headquarters of Ngazai local government area, where 338 houses were gutted by fire. A total of 625 emergency shelters alongside food items and other valuables were lost to the inferno at Customs House IDP camp. The 3 persons killed in the fire disaster are 2 elderly women and a child. NTA news camera lens captured some victims wearing long faces, counting their losses, while others resort to making emergency shelters for themselves in view of the harmattan cold and dusty wind. A team from the State Emergency Management Agency led by the Director General, Yaba Okolo, visited the camp and commiserated with the displaced victims as well as assured them of prompt intervention from the Borno State government.
We mount a lot of advocacy. You know, the women, they like cooking. It is something that we need with to sit with other sister organizations in order to prevent future occurrences of such disaster of such magnitude.
The emergency shelters, which are made mostly of flammable materials, makes it easy for fire to run over them, especially with the help of the dry season harmattan wind. In Maiduguri, Jadua, John Jesini, NTA News.
It will be it for now on Nationwide from Maiduguri. Hawa is back to you.
Thank you very much, Abubakar. And it's time for us to take more messages on Nationwide.
The broadcast media ecosystem is dynamic and requires continuous training for practitioners to perform optimally. NTA TV College Jos invites relevant officers to the following specially packaged training programs. Intermediate online news reporting skills. Date 1st March to 12th March 2021. 2 weeks. Studio lighting indoor and outdoor. Date 1st March to 5th March 2021. 1 week. Modern trends in broadcast media marketing. Date 15th March to 9th April 2021. 4 weeks. Understanding public service rules and mastering the art of standard minute writing, reports, memoranda, and briefs. Date 15th February to 12th March 2021. 4 weeks. The course fee for the 4-week courses is 100,000 naira per participant. The fee for the 2-week course is 80,000 naira, while the course fee for the 1-week course is 40,000 naira only. Accommodation inclusive. Venue for all the courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA TV College near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College, Jos. Training you to be the best you want to be.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
Focus on the game changer, His Excellency Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State. Broadcasting in a digital economy, Maxwell Logo gives an insight. This edition also features Nancy Naji of AIT, a name synonymous with business. Meet the NCDC boss, Dr. Chikwe Ihekweazu. TV Guide, your indispensable companion, also x-rays the relevance of social media in the modern society. Meet some TV professionals who have impacted their spaces and other inspiring stories in sports, entertainment, and lots more. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or NTA stations nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
After sharing the spoils in their last meeting, Southampton will be looking to secure all 3 points when they welcome the Blues to St. Mary's. This Saturday, it's Southampton versus Chelsea on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 1:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank, Babai Jebu, Lipton, and Close Up, in association with Gold.com.
It's nice to have you rejoin Nationwide. And the first civilian governor of Zamfara State, Senator Ahmed Sani, has finally revalidated his APC membership registration after a controversy that trailed his participation in the exercise, which was flagged off in the state about 5 days ago. Haliru Muhammad Umar, who witnessed the exercise, has more.
The APC membership registration and revalidation exercise is flagged off in Zamfara State few days after the National Caretaker Committee of the party succeeded in reconciling its warring factions in the state. Chairman of the committee appointed by the party National Secretariat to conduct the exercise in the state, Alhaji Umar Kareto, enjoined all the reconciled APC factions in Zamfara State to work in unison towards reclaiming the state come 2023. One of the APC stalwarts in Zamfara State, Dr. Dauda Lawal Dari, revalidated his membership at Muslim Foundation Polling Unit GRA Gusau. Dr. Dauda Lawal Dari, who was among the APC gubernatorial aspirants in Zamfara State during the 2019 elections, said the party has now emerged stronger and all the reconciled members will continue to work together for more united APC in the state.
Alhamdulillah, I'm appealing to everybody to come out in mass and vote for APC.
The committee had earlier revalidated membership of the state APC leader and former Governor Abdulaziz Yari at his hometown Talata Mafara, Senator Kabiru Marafa at Endo Tandaji, and Mahmoud Aliyu at Shinkafi. The exercise continues with other members and prospective members of the party across the state. In Gusau, Sadia Abubakar Chino, NTA News.
And that report from Zamfara ends Nationwide today. We thank you for being part of it. Do remember to stay with us as we fight against rape and rapists. And also, COVID-19 is real. Be safe.
NTA Knowledge. NTA Knowledge. Learning to broaden horizon.
This is the network service of the NTA.
to our world. Happy New Year. My name is Towani Oludemi. Also here is
Tolami James.
We promise an interesting package for you today, but first, this break.
I am Dr. Solomon Arase, a retired Inspector General of Police. Please watch this Our World every week. It's very educative, profound, and insightful, and you'll be glad that you did.
Welcome back. The year 2020 was indeed a traumatic year for everyone. The world was shut down for 6 months due to COVID-19. Children were unable to go to school. People could not interact live except virtually. Wearing of face masks and washing or sanitizing of hands became the new normal. We understand that there is a second wave. We are urged to observe all COVID-19 protocols. Another break beckons. COVID-19 is a deadly disease that if you touch a person who has the virus, you might get infected with the virus. I will be more intentional concerning my hygiene.
To keep germs and viruses away, wash your hands regularly with soap and water for 20 seconds or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer before use and after use. After the bathroom, keep your hands clean. Avoid touching your face.
For now, you cannot play with your friends. It is called social distancing.
Your toys should be cleaned regularly.
When outside your house, wear a face mask.
Stay safe.
At the beginning of a new year, people make resolutions. Have you made one? Well, some presenters on our world will now share their experience in 2020 and what they hope for in 2021, as well as their first time on air as presenters.
2020 was like a good year for me because I kind of enjoyed the year, even though the lockdown, I got to learn a lot of things because the 7-month lockdown was enough to learn a skill. So I learned some things like coding and baking, and I give glory to God that we still went back to school at the ending of the year. And also 2020 was somehow like not a bright year because of the SARS protest, the killing, and also the Black Lives Matter. But I still enjoyed the year 2020 and I'm glad we're in the new year 2021. Glory be to God.
Last year I enjoyed staying at home because of the corona, and I did my lesson online, and I had a lot of fun in the house and in the school.
When I went to the village, I got to meet my paternal and maternal grandmothers, and in some years I got to eat some local dishes which I haven't eaten in a while. I hunted with my cousins, we caught grasshoppers and lizards, and I also found out that I couldn't speak my dialect fluently and I couldn't communicate with some people.
Hi, my name is Jane, and what 2020 taught me was that 2020 was a year of self-improvement, and it was also a very challenging year because of all the things that were happening throughout the lockdown, like the coronavirus, the NSAS protest and everything. But people also use the opportunity to learn new skills, just like me. I learned some new skills. I took advantage of the lockdown to learn some new things. So 2020 served like as an year of self-improvement.
My New Year resolution is to face my studies, to know God more, and to be the person I was born to be.
My New Year resolution is to know God more and face my studies.
Happy New Year, friends. My name is Damalami James, and my New Year resolution is to be the best in my class.
Happy New Year, friends. My name is Esther Honora, and my New Year resolution is to pass my exam and make my family proud of me.
Happy New Year, everyone. My name is Mitchell Livingston, and my New Year resolutions are 1. To be a better me in my words, thoughts, and deeds. 2. To know God better. 3. To be better in my academics. And lastly, to know my cooking and self-care lessons and skills more seriously. My New Year resolution is to live every day as it comes. So I actually don't have.
My New Year resolutions are to obey God and exhibit the fruits of the Spirit, to be serious in my academics, to love, care for my family and obey my family, to learn my mother's tongue, which is Igala.
Hello, my name is Pretty Kenneth Amadjofo. My New Year resolutions are I am going to take my studies serious. I am going to do my house chores. I am going to read my Bible every day. I am going to use my time wisely. For example, a time to read, a time to watch television, and a time to prepare for our world programs.
Happy New Year. My name is Towani Oludemi, one of the pioneer presenters of our world. I just want to say that how I started recording or facing the camera and saying things for people to hear on TV is that I wasn't actually scared, but I was still choking on my words. But as I began to face the camera, well, I noticed that I wasn't scared anymore, so I could face the camera and tell people what I wanted to tell them.
Happy New Year, friends. My name is David Livingston. My first time in front of a camera, I was initially excited, and at some point I got shy and conscious of not making any mistakes. It took some time for me to adjust and get comfortable and speak fluently, but now I am more confident than I ever was.
Happy New Year, everyone. My name is Tolami James. My first time on TV, I was so nervous that I felt like running away from the camera. But now I'm very confident and I can stand in front of camera.